Let's see, question number 1. How is life on festivals? Who takes care of the organization, like accommodations? Who's covering the expenses? Does it depend on the festival? Okay, easy one first. So festival circuit is very exciting. It's also very tiring, but it's all for a good cause. So usually film festivals, a lot of people think that the money that people pay to go into a festival goes to the film, but in fact it all goes to the festival. So we never see any of that, any of the money or anything, which is fine because it's all for promotion. So that's the idea. Is film festivals is to promote your film, right? As far as who pays for what, it depends on the festival. Yeah. So bigger festivals will say we'll accommodate you for a hotel, or we'll accommodate you for travel, or half of the travel. Or they'll negotiate or something. And then for a lot of festivals, it's just up to you to travel, or if you want to go to the festival or not. So so it depends. So and usually with the film festivals, because there's so many, usually it's like I go to one, Sheetal will go to one, Angela will go to one, Mercedes will go to one, the producer will go to one. So we try to be at one. One of us tries to be at a festival at any point in time. So next question. How was last week's one at the Arab Film Festival? Oh, that's a good question. Was it shown twice in Berkeley and Los Angeles? Yeah, so it was shown both in Berkeley and Los Angeles. The Berkeley one was completely sold out, actually. We saw it last Friday. And people were sitting on the floor, and it was actually really, really wonderful reception. And then the screening in Los Angeles was also really, really good. We had a pretty full house, and most of the reaction was actually quite positive. And I do want to thank the Arab Film Festival for being the one and only Arab Film Festival to ever show the film in the whole entire international film festival circuit. So that was very brave of them. I did have one or two people come up to me saying that the film was offensive. And I got a weird comment actually, which was that the person was saying that they were completely progressive and completely fine with everything, but did I have to show so much emotion between the two women? And I thought that was so interesting that they were against the emotion of it. I just found that so interesting. I mean, this is the first time I ever heard that actually critique. But for the most part, it was actually it was quite a very, very warm reception from the Arab Film Festival audience. So, yeah. Did you have a good time in Paris, although it was for a short time and you are jet lagged? How did you notice I was jet lagged?
No, we knew.
So I had a fantastic time in Paris. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and I've been here a few times already, and every time I come, I always say, no matter what the weather, no matter what the season, it's just an extremely charming and beautiful city. So, and the people at Cinefable, it's just absolutely wonderful, took care of me. Complete full house, just a great theater, everything. I couldn't even ask for a better Paris premiere actually. So, did you try Parisian transportation system like metro, bus, tramway, and so on? If yes, was it fun? If no, did you walk? So I love walking actually. I love walking more than biking, more than taking car, more than metro or anything. So I try to walk everywhere because I feel you get more intimate feeling of a city, especially when I'm in a new city. I just love walking everywhere. But of course, I took the metro, and the metro is, in my opinion, the best metro system that I've ever been on, because I didn't wait. I waited a maximum of 3 minutes in any stop that I went to for any reason at any point in time, and I've never seen that anywhere in the entire world. I've never seen that. Of course, there might be, but. Someone would probably email me and be like, "Oh, there was one here, and Kazakhstan, and But I've never been there, so I've never seen it. Not even in Germany, nowhere in the U.S. UK. I've never seen anything like it, so I'm quite pleased with it, and I'm very happy. And after Ellen's interview, it says you've grown up in the United Arab Emirates and left after the first Gulf War. Right, yeah, I did. Is that what I wrote? When exactly did you move there to the US, and whose decision was it? Yours or your family? And how old were you then? I moved in 1992, and it was my family's decision, and it was, you know, a combination of the stability in the region and for my dad's work, and you know, better opportunities in the US, and yeah, and of course, we would come to the US in the summer sometimes and whatever, and so we really loved the US, so it was no problem for us, for the kids, yeah, for me and my siblings.
To adapt?
Well, to adapt is different, but we were excited, you know, Nike and Coca-Cola, and yay, great. So, but in fact, high school was, because, you know, I went to British school, actually, in the UAE. So, you know, they taught you both English and Arabic, but I was not used to how casual the US high schools were. I was used to uniforms. I was used to calling your teacher Miss blah, blah, blah. You couldn't eat in class. You couldn't, you know, guys and girls were separated. Right?
Thank you.
It's Halloween already. Is it Halloween?
Tomorrow.
I'll tell you a funny story. So, in British English, when you want to say, you know, pencil, and there's, back then, of course, we were writing with pencil, and we used to say rubber.
Right. I see
rub
you
out.
coming.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
so I was sitting, you know, in high school in class, and for the first time sitting next to a guy, you know, not used to sitting next to guys, I don't know. And so I'm sitting there, it was a test, and we're writing, and I'm like, excuse me, and my like, can I have a rubber? I was like, what? Can I please have a rubber? And he stood up and he said, she just asked me for a rubber, ha, ha, ha. And of course, I didn't know how to say eraser. I had no clue it was called eraser. I just called it rubber. So there's, you know, lots of these situations, kind of awkward for me. But yeah, after a year or two, it was fine. Yeah. So we read that you already made a movie at 12. Oh yeah, when inspired you to be a filmmaker, and why didn't you take on film studies instead of computer science? Good question. So yeah, so I did my first short film when I was 12. It's called Never Give Up. It was very lame, and you'll never see it ever.
Yes, I do.
When can we see it?
No, that's not happening. And so, what?
Stays in the closet.
Yeah. Why did you take on film studies instead of computer science? Mostly for stability reasons. You know, film studies. Basically, I needed some sort of to be in an industry that actually, you know, I was a little more stable, and I had a backup plan in case film stuff didn't work.
So this is your choice.
Oh yeah, completely my choice. Yeah.
The
Completely.
family pressure about being...
Actually, I never went to film school.
No, that's why we were wondering.
Yeah. No, and I never felt the need to, actually.
So actually, you have a degree in computer science. Have you been practicing in it? You're a programmer?
I'm a programmer. I am. And so...
You need a job.
Yeah.
You need a job, yeah, you have to.
And did you like it? Well, the creative part, maybe.
Yeah, no, I actually love it. I love programming. I mean, you know, programming for a corporation versus programming for your own self or games or anything, you know, it's a different story. But certainly I love,
Weird noises.
There's another film playing, actually. In your opinion, can an independent filmmaker just live off of his own films? Good question. Probably. A lot of people do it, certainly. Is it easy? No. It's extremely difficult, and it gets more and more difficult. Yeah, I mean, you know, some people can live off of very little. You know, obviously you have to have good friends and good support, and you know, if you need anything, you'll at least know that someone will be there for you, sort of thing.
You need to be surrounded.
Yeah, Yeah, but good support, certainly. I think so. I think so. It's wow. It's a porn documentary.
I think it is.
It is though. It's not a joke.
I'll add some special effects
Yeah,
sounds.
it's a documentary about, which is
But do you manage?
no, I still have to
Program.
I still have to program. I still have to do engineering. That might change. Hopefully, we'll see how Three Veils goes. Like I said, a lot of people think that the film gets money from the film festivals. In terms of like, when a person comes to the film and they pay ticket at the film festival, they think that ticket actually goes to the film, but it doesn't.
No, but sometimes you can win a prize, right? And sometimes it's money.
Sure, but only the big festivals. Only the big festivals. And, it's hard to get into those.
And so far, Three Veils didn't get a prize that pay.
No, it is very rare with the medium or small festivals for prizes to pay anything, actually. So we've won a lot of awards, but none of them were cash awards, I would say. When you entered Three Veils into the film festival Cinéfable, did you know that the screenings were strictly open to women? No, I did not know that. I did not know that. No, I did not.
No, that's okay.
If you did know, would have make a difference, or?
No difference. No, none at all. If they want to show it and there's an audience and it's an audience that's interested in such a film, it doesn't. No. It doesn't affect, either way. So,
She's not doing politics.
because of some content of the film, making Three Veils is not a film of interest for men. Oh, I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that's true at all, actually. We have a lot of strong male fans of the film. That's not true at all.
So it would interest men.
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
definitely.
I would hope so, because...
Me too. It's just that the fact that this festival was strictly open to women.
Yeah.
Like, do they think, men, it's not a film to be watched by men, or?
Well, to be fair, yeah,
Maybe more women would
in general,
relate.
yeah, maybe in terms of relating, but the men are interested in it because it's about, well, of course there's men in it, but other than that, they get to see how maybe their sisters or wives or cousins or their aunts or grandmas are like, it's interesting for them because women are in their lives. Is it a difficult choice to decide not to sell your soul out, but taking the risk of not being able to tell your story? What's this question mean?
Means you had to take some decisions about refusing maybe some funds, or...
That's a good question. Yeah, was it difficult? No.
Why?
Was it difficult?
Why not?
But the risk was to not being able to fund your
No, I was going to make the movie no matter what. It's sort of a no way...
But not sell your soul, just...
Absolutely not. Was it a difficult choice? No. Was it difficult? Of course it was difficult, yeah? It's difficult when you don't have much support and you're trying to raise money. It's difficult for any independent film, certainly for an independent film like this with subjects that are, more touchy and more... So like I said, the choice wasn't difficult. Like, I never had any...
You were not tortured about...
Yeah, not tortured in my mind. Like, there was no question that I was not going to compromise. So it wasn't a difficult choice, but it was certainly, did it make it hard? Yes, it made it hard. That's what you have to do. You have to tell yourself.
It's a choice.
Yeah, because actually you were really determined to make the film whatever. Anyway, you would.
Anyway.
So, okay, no problem.
Anyway, but not anyway.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
but not anyway. Yeah, no compromising on the integrity of the story or of the characters or anything like that. So,
That's good to hear.
Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now that Sheetal Sheth had already played multiple lesbian roles, has it made it easier for you to approach her for this role? Were you anxious, maybe because it could be yet another role that could typecast her, and she could have said no for this reason? Well, I don't know that it was a lesbian, quote-unquote lesbian role. It was, a role, I think her character was
Yeah,
It was complex, you know, to me. And it wasn't like she was playing the same role that she did in, you know, the other movies. So I think me and I think her also did not, she didn't see it that way. She just was interested, she read the script and she really connected with the script and she really wanted to play the character and I really wanted her to play the character because she's obviously wonderful. And any project would be lucky to have her in it, certainly. What are your impressions after the screening of Three Veils in Paris? My impressions. It was definitely more amazing than I could really ever imagine. I was so pleased with it, you know, and it seems it really was very, very, I was just happy by how well received it was and the fact that it was a full house, and even though it was such a huge theater, it was still a full house. And I'm glad that an international audience, even if it wasn't an English-speaking country, even with subtitles, that they seem to really connect and like the film, and so that means a lot. And yeah, so it's phenomenal, really. Couldn't ask for a better Paris premiere. What's coming after other festivals, distribution, another feature maybe?
Yeah, what's next?
Yeah, so let's say, well, definitely we're going to be going to festivals up until the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year. And as far as distribution, it's slated to be distributed in the US and maybe online as well by the end of the year, hopefully, beginning of next year. So stay on facebook.com/3veilsmovie, twitter.com/3veilsmovie if you want to find out more about the film or find out about when the film will be available in your side of the world. And as far as feature, I'm writing, one feature. I'm doing a music video by the end of the year that I also wrote. I'm writing
Your own
project.
music?
No, it's another artist, but
So it's sort of read that you play piano, right?
Huh? Oh yeah, I play piano. Yeah, actually I did one of the songs even in Three Veils.
Oh.
Yeah, I won't tell you which one. You'll have to Google it.
So by the end of the year, that's what you're doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm planning.
And writing a feature?
Yeah, I'm writing a feature and then writing something else. It's a book actually. So.
Okay, more writing.
Yeah. It's
Still
you
busy
have to write
creating.
before you do anything, right? You have to have material.
Would you consider maybe making a film for a story you didn't write?
That's a good question. I've never done that yet. I certainly would be open to it, but I think that I would only do it if I had the similar vision as the writer or as the producer, or else it would be very difficult for me just to do it on hire if I didn't have creative control. Three Veils has been a very long and difficult pregnancy.
That's what
Thanks
we
for the
say.
visual. Would you do it again? Would I get pregnant again? Would I do it again? Of course I'd do it again. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. I mean, that's why I'm in it. Especially seeing how much it means to audiences and how much audiences connect with it. Absolutely, I'd do it again, without question. No question in my mind. Et pourquoi avez-vous fait le placement jusqu'à Paris? It literally was actually timing-wise, in my own schedule, I was able to. It's not very usual for me to have more than a few days of free time, and so that's why. And so actually, schedule-wise, it really worked out. So that's why.
So it's kind of a vacation as well?
Yes. Yes.
That's good.
Okay, but did you know from the beginning when it would be screened?
Yeah.
Not on Saturday? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
On the
great.
weekend, at least they said on the weekend. So.
Okay, so you knew. Okay, you could be coming up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Plus to see you. Good. Oh,
Now she's doing
Okay.
politics.
Now.
Are you open about your sexuality, and are you okay to talk about it? Are you openly gay within your family, friends, into the world?
If yes.
If yes.
Oh, if yes. Oh, okay, yeah.
If no, there's another page.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Openly gay within your family, friends, into the world. I'm openly gay. I am very openly gay. Yes. So I guess that answers your question.
Yes, it does.
Where were you when you first wondered about your sexuality? Oh,
You can skip.
what? Sexuality, what's it say?
What is it?
Were you in the
UAE,
UEA or?
UAE, US, how old were you? Oh.
Oof.
Skip. Where's the button?
How did you answer your questions in still living in Arab or Muslim
Environment.
Huh. Okay. Well, I'll just say a few words about that because I do want to support anyone who is a Muslim or Arab that's sort of going through this, whether or not you live in the Middle East or whether you live somewhere else. So that's why I'll answer this question because I would have liked to see someone like me answer the question when I was younger. So it's very difficult because I think the first inclination that I had was to hate myself. And I think that's, especially now with the campaign of, it gets better and things like that, and you hear young people, doing bad, horrible things to themselves or committing suicide or, being destructive. I do want to say that I also began definitely by hating myself very, very much, and it was quite difficult, and it was very lonely, it was very isolating. I couldn't tell anyone, I couldn't tell my friends, my family, anyone. I couldn't say anything, I just had to sort of figure it out on my own. And it was very isolating and very lonely and just not a good time. And actually, the thing that made me feel better was movies, actually. So, if I ever saw a movie where there's a woman loving another woman, or being in a relationship, or being in a loving relationship, or something that seemed healthy, something that seemed, this is possible, this is okay, you're fine, I definitely would gravitate towards those films. Of course, it would be hidden under my bed, under like 5 piles of, books and things like that, but it made me feel better. And I think slowly, through films and through, I guess just growing up somehow, just figured it out and just decided not to hate myself anymore, and that this was okay. And it doesn't change who I am at all. It has nothing to do with really with my personality or how I deal with relationships with people or how I love people or how it has nothing to do, nothing, actually zero to do with it. So that made me feel better, that it's just me, I'm the same person, and it's fine, it's okay, you know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal, really, to me. Might be big of a deal to other people, but that's really their problem, actually. So.
And don't you think it could have been interesting to see, for once, somebody like you being represented, that is, living from, coming from a cultural background that is important, like Indian, Asian?
Sure. Actually, now that you mentioned that, probably a hugely influential film, actually, for me, not in my filmmaking, but in my own personal life, was Fire.
I was about to name that one.
And that film really, really, really hit it for me. It was, it really meant a lot to me, and I watched it very many times. And it was just so beautiful, such a beautiful film. And that film.
Okay.
That film, honestly. Brilliant film. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah.
You have?
I'm talking to the audience. That's you.
I am the audience.
She is too, anyway. Well, I will give it to you. I have it.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Oh, but you've seen it.
No.
You haven't?
I have.
Interview done. Is there a particular role you would relate more under the criminal action? I don't know. Is there a particular role that you relate more? No, I feel, I wrote them all, so I feel like I connect with the characters all of them, even the side characters. It's just, it feels like it's all a part of me somehow. Certainly, there are certain stories that are based on other stories I've heard or other stories that I know of or something like this, but Nothing in particular. It's not a very, it's not strictly based on anything. It's actually mostly, it's inspired, but it's mostly from my imagination, you know what I'm saying?
Something also interesting is the most religious men, obviously, are not the nicest ones, while the not so religious guys turn out to be quite opened.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think that that's true at all. And in fact, not to reveal anything in the movie, but in fact when you see at the end of the movie, it was the religious community that actually excommunicated him for doing the bad thing that he did. So I don't think that, I think that again, it's all about perception, right? It's what your misconception is. The other thing is, if you notice, you know, I mean, in fact, religion is dealt very delicately in the film, and in fact, it's very positive. So I don't think that that's very true. I don't think that's true, actually. Also, the dad, you know, was religious. He gave a quote. Layla's father, for instance, even Nikki's father was you know, when she was younger, the whole family was sort of religious, and it was a very beautiful family, actually. They were very functional up until that
Drama.
That disaster happened or whatever. So I don't know. I wouldn't agree with that. I wouldn't agree with that.
It depends on the individual.
It depends on the individual. It really does. I mean, anyone. There's so many non-religious people who do terrible things, and there's so many religious people who do great things, and
Vice
definitely
versa.
the other way around. And you know, I just think it. You know, religion might give people, you know, a very concrete excuse to do something, or to hate a group of people, or to judge certain people, or to, you know, take away rights from people, you know, or even to say women shouldn't do this or women shouldn't do that, or, you know, gay people this or gay people that, or...
So no matter how you put your movie, people are going to have opinions and will judge anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's nothing you can
you know,
do.
I can't avoid that. I can't avoid that, but what I can try and do is deal with the subjects in a gracious way, in a delicate way, in a way with integrity, not to be gratuitous, and to show a reality that I know. You know, that's what I can do. So. That's it. Et voilà.
Yeah.
Et voilà.
C'est fini.
Merci beaucoup.
De rien, de rien.
Congratulations.
Bye.